working.
Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Star Wars Black Series Elite Force FX Mandalorian Darksaber. Man, that is a long name. That's like a Game of Thrones name right there. So these are, the Force FX sabers. These have been around for a long time. They've changed through the years going through the Black Series, and now you have these Elite ones that you can do stuff like this, where you can display it just with the hilt, which is really nice, but they're effectively high-end collectible prop-like items, and they're pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at it here. We'll just take a look at the hilt first, and right here is the blade, which we will be attaching, and I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple, but it's nice that you're able to do this. Actually, we'll go over the most important part first, the stand. An enemy stand? Anyway, this is pretty nice. It's something to write home about. It kind of looks like leftover pieces from like an Imperial ship or something, but it's a nice metal stand that you saw how it goes on there. The only thing you have to do with it is this piece here just slides right on there. That's all you have to do with it, but it's nice. And as you can see, you can display it like that. I don't know why I'm restating that. You saw it. You can also do that with the blade on. I would just be careful and put it somewhere where it might be a little more stable, or maybe put it somewhere where if it falls, it's going to fall on a carpet or something. But here you have the hilt, which it looks really nice and it's got a lot of heft to it. Unfortunately, you can't tell that on camera, and these always do have metal hilts. They're not like the plastic hilts of the regular toys, but this is in particular heavy. This is my first Black Series Elite one. The most recent one I have before this is actually the Kylo Ren lightsaber from Force Awakens. There we go. And then I just have some really old school ones from Revenge of the Sith, but it has a really nice die-cast metal, heavy feel. It's got a really nice look to it because of the die-cast metal. It's just really awesome looking all around, and I love that you can display them with just the hilts. It's not as much of a problem with these, but of course with the regular lightsabers, when you don't have the ability to display with a hilt, you just kind of have a white tube, unfortunately. But I really like that you can take the hilt off and display it like this, and like I said, it feels really nice and hefty and worth your money, even just like this, because back in my day, you could only just buy the ones that were the Force FX lightsaber, and then you could buy like a prop like this, and I like that this is 2-in-1. You do have the buttons here for the lights. This one's going to be for the clashing noises, and this one's for on and off. If you press it here, it's not going to make any sounds. It'll just light this up here, which is the battery indicator, and that will actually stay on for a good long time, but it won't stay on forever. Now, before we get into the meat of it, just to show you right down here, this is where I change the battery out. So you just use this little tool that you get with it, or you might have one of these lying around from other things. So pull that out, pull this out. Here's the battery socket. And if you can see, it charges by USB like that. So, and then, it gives instructions to like dispose of it and change it after a certain time when it doesn't charge anymore. But I just got this, so I shouldn't have to worry about it. Now, to change out the blade mode, you do a similar thing here. All right, just take that out, and then you lift this cover off, and then you take this bit out here. Also, you can see that this is shaped like a battery to show that it's the battery light. But you take this piece out right here, then plug in this right here, and you can see where the battery thing lines up, so you know exactly which way to place it. Then simply slide the cover back on and re-screw this in. I will cut away to me doing that so you don't have to watch it. Now, just to show you, you can see it's on there with the blade, so you can do it. I would just advise to be careful and put it somewhere safe. It's going to be much easier to talk about not on the stand, so you can see the blade there has this sort of black, sort of matte finish. Right here you can see, and then the light is going to come from here. Now, one thing that's nice about this, I will say, aesthetically, is this is one of the only sabers that you can display in its saber mode, where you don't just, again, like I mentioned earlier, have just a white tube. Because of the way the Darksaber looks, you can display it like this and it still looks like the Darksaber, which is really awesome, and I really appreciate that, and I really like that a lot. So that, it's nice that you can take this off and just have the hilt, but I think that's more beneficial for other sabers where you just have the white tube. But with this, you can display it like this and it still looks like the Darksaber because of the nature of the way it looks. I think that's great. That being said, in the show, it does have a very distinctive look to the black part here, where it's almost got this electricity, energy look to it here, and this just looks plain and black and a little bit basic, and it kind of scratches up a little bit easily, and it just annoys me a little bit. I would say that's my only real nitpick about it, just in terms of I wish they would have come up with a way to sort of replicate that, even if it was a sort of see-through plastic or some sort of design. I feel like they could have done something with that, and the only real thing that bugs me about it. But let's go ahead and turn this puppy on, and then I do have some comparisons to show you as well. So there you go, you can see that. It still looks really nice, and that actually looks really cool the way it does that. And you can hear the humming of it, and it will make different sounds when you move it around, motion activated for humming sounds and stuff like that. And then clashing noises as well. And you can hear the humming a little bit. You'll be able to hear it when I do another demonstration too, but it looks really great. Like, once you have this lit up with the black piece here, it does still look really awesome and feels really awesome. Again, I still wish there was a way to replicate that, but it's still really great. And then you have the clashing noises and lights here. And then hold this button down, and you get those noises. And you can see there's some rainbow LEDs down here. But of course, I wouldn't show this to you guys just in this cramped space in a well-lit room. You're going to want to see it in the dark and whatnot. I will show that off in just a second. Before we do that though, I just wanted to show a couple comparisons just to give you some idea of some things. Oh, and also, when you turn it off, just hold this down. There you go. Turn it on, and that's easy, and then hold it to turn it off. And it's got a really cool, you know, straight through LED, which is really nice. So this is just to show you next to the Kylo Ren lightsaber. This is kind of the old school non-elite ones. I know they did an elite version of Kylo Ren's. I'm not sure how different the hilt looks, but this is a nice quality and it is metal, but you can notice a quality difference in general between these two. And also just to show you what I'm talking about in case you were unsure about like the white tubing for display versus, you know, being able to take it off if it's a regular lightsaber, or this having, you know, the nice black look of the dark saber so you can actually display it like that. Now, the other thing I wanted to show is this is the kids' version of the Darksaber, which is honestly no slouch. I mean, it's not like up next to this, but this is honestly pretty cool. I really dug this. You see it has that kind of lightning effect look, which looks more toyetic than the obvious prop version, but I like that they tried to address the unique version of it. Obviously, with the hilt, there's no comparison, but this is still pretty cool. Like, just comparing the sounds. It's a little bit louder, but still. So honestly, I think that's pretty cool. But now let's go ahead and I will cut away to showing some footage of it with the lights off, and I will also do some lights off comparison footage to the Kylo Ren lightsaber as well as this one, just so you can get an idea. Guys, that's about it for this one. Overall, I do have to say, this thing is pricey, but I am very pleased with it. I'm very selective with my purchases of these more expensive lightsabers, and they've gotten way more expensive back when I first started collecting with the Obi-Wan and Vader ones from Revenge of the Sith time that were like $100 or $120 at most at like a Borders, and now they're like $200. So I would say it's very pricey, but it's a high quality product, and you're getting what you pay for. But it still is a bit expensive. But personally, my only real complaint about it is just that I wish they had done something with this to sort of reflect the unique style of it. I think it could have been as simple as just a different type of plastic and it would have been an easy fix. But that's really the only thing I don't like about it. It feels high quality, it looks great, it feels great. You know, I love that you can display this one in particular with the blade on and it doesn't look like you're just displaying this weird white tubing. So I would say if you're a huge fan of the Darksaber and you're interested in laying the money down for this, I don't think you'll be disappointed. There are other fan-made option sites and stuff that I know also are similarly priced that you can do more customizing with, which is worth looking into. But if you want the official product, I think you'll be getting what you pay for to a certain extent. That being said, I always advise to wait for a sale in anything, no matter how much you want it. I don't know if this one will sell out before a sale, but it's worth noting that I thought the Revan one wouldn't be around, and the Revan one went on sale within the year it came out, and I thought that would be another one that would be hard to get. So I would say keep an eye out for a sale of this if you're willing to gamble, and if you can get a sale on it, then it's definitely worth the price. Also, very last thing, with that being said though, if this is too pricey for you, I know it doesn't look as elite, but the kid version that I showed off does have very nice sounds that feel at least decently comparable for a much cheaper price if it doesn't bother you that much. I know that they're very different in quality, look-wise, but sound-wise, they're fairly close-ish. So I would just say keep that in mind. But sorry about that long ramble at the end. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.